Hello, my name is Rizky Arvibobo, and right now let me tell you about my unforgettable story. This is the story when I was in elementary school, maybe grade 1 or grade 2. My dad invited me to go on vacation to my grandmother's house in Purwokerto. We depart from Tegal around 5 in the morning. We take the morning hours so we don't get jam on the way. The journey takes 3 to 4 hours. We go by motorbike. At that time, I didn't have sister yet, so we just left for the three of us, dad, mom, and me. After arriving at grandma's house around 9 in the morning, we take a break first. When the afternoon comes, my grandmother invited us to eat at the restaurant. Because before we didn't tell about our departure to go to grandmother's house, grandma hasn't cooked anything. After finishing eating, we go home full and happy. The next day, after I do sholat subuh, my, my dad invited me to go to the hill. After everything is ready, we finally go to the hill around 6 in the morning. The trip up the hills take about 1 to 2 hours. I was a little sad at the time because my grandmother couldn't come. Grandma couldn't come because she had a foot disease. She couldn't walk for too long. After reaching the hill, we get off at the parking lot. Then we have to walk to then we have to walk to get to where we are going. The road is quite steep and there is a cliff beside it. After walking for about 20 minutes, we reach the top of the hill. The view is very nice. Because I was a kid, I was very fussy about borrowing that cell phone to take photos via the cell phone camera. Finally, Dad gave the cell phone when I started crying. When Dad lended me his cell phone, I immediately took a picture of the object that I thought was good to, to take to take. But there was an incident that made my dad angry. His cell phone almost fell into the cliff by me. Then my dad scolded me and I cried and shook with that. When we walked down to the parking lot, I didn't want to held up by my dad. I walked behind dad. Well, at that moment, there was cliff beside me and I walked on the edge of the road. At that time, because dad had left me behind and I couldn't see dad, I immediately ran. But the ground that I stepped on before running landslides and descends to the bottom, and I almost fell. I held on the I held on to the road. Luckily, Dad who realized that I wasn't visible from parking lot, Dad immediately turned around to check my condition, saw me who almost fell into the cliff. Dad was immediately hold my hand and lift my body. After lifting all my body, I cried. After that, Papa carried me down to the road and finally we make our way back to grandma's house. That's all from me. Thanks.